Hello friends, and welcome back to my homestead. Today is a laundry day. Well, not exactly. Today is a laundry soap making day. And yes, I make my own laundry soap, and I have been using laundry soap for the last 3, maybe even 4 years, I want to say. And you may ask me, well, why are you making your own laundry soap? Well, there are many reasons. One of them, it's cheaper than purchasing commercially made laundry soap. Much cheaper. I can't even compare to say how much cheaper it is. Yes, I still may have to go out and buy something that will go into my soap, laundry soap, but however, these supplies will last me more than just 1 year. So it's very frugal. So Dave Ramsey would approve. Number 2, did you know that most of commercially prepared laundry soaps contain chemicals that are actually banned in other countries? Yes, they are removed from the market in other countries, and yet we still use them in our country. There are certain chemicals that the companies do not even have to list on the label to tell us what's in it, and they are known carcinogens. So because of that, I'm going to try to avoid them. So frugal, not good for my health, and obviously the soap with water will go into the environment and it causes who knows what havoc on the environment. So that's a reason number 3. But I also can control how much or how little I can put into my recipe. And there are so many recipes out there for homemade laundry soap. Now there's some controversy about homemade laundry soap, and I've heard them, and I have people who've spoken to me about that. So one of them is that you can't use homemade laundry soap on a high efficiency wash machines. I've heard of that, and there's some truth to that. So before you make it and use it for your own, make sure that you do some research and make sure that it actually works in your machine. Because the high efficiency machines have very little water used in the wash process. So very often people are unable to rinse it out. Number 2, I've heard from people, especially from the front loaders, is that again, it doesn't work for them very well. And these are legitimate concerns, so please do your research. Now, I also have heard that because these products that we're going to be using in a homemade laundry soap don't get rinsed out from clothes and they build up and they can cause eventually stinky clothes. I've heard of that as well, and it's a possibility and it can be true, especially if you live using well water with high mineral content. That is a possibility that the minerals will attract to the laundry particles and it will remain on the clothing. And we don't want to wear dirty clothing, stinky clothing. So one of the ways to combat that is that you need to make sure that you have 2 rinse cycles and you put white distilled vinegar into your rinse cycle instead of fabric softener, which don't get me started on the fabric softener. It's one of the worst things we can do for our health. Yes, it comes out soft and smells good, however, not great for our health. So let me show you how I'm gonna be making my laundry soap. So what kind of soaps can we use? Well, the most common one is probably this one. It's called Zote soap, and either in pink color or white color, and they actually have pleasant smell to them, but and they super cheap, like $1.09 I think I paid for a bar of soap. Then there's another one. It's come from Purex, and it's Phil's Naphtha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. This was $1.29, I believe. Now you may want to choose to buy something a little bit more natural, like Dr. Bronner's, and it's slightly a little bit more money, but still way cheaper than to purchase commercially made soap. Okay, then we're gonna need other ingredients, and we're gonna be using Arms & Hammer super washing soda, and not to confuse with baking soda. This is not baking soda. This is used only for washing, okay? Now, even though I bought a whole box, I'm not gonna use this whole box today. This will last me for a long, long time, especially just for a family of 4. And then the other ingredient, which is, by the way, is quite controversial, but I will explain to you why I use it. And this is borax. And again, I'm only gonna need for my recipe 1 cup of borax. Again, this will last me a few years. Now, what's the controversy with borax? Not to confuse, borax is different than boric acid. Now, boric acid is banned in other countries, but borax is not, and it's a natural mineral that we know as boron. So again, not to ingest or anything, but it goes for washing or for ant killing. Anyway, so these are my 3 ingredients I'm going to be using, and hot water. That's it. So I can make a choice which soap I'm going to use today, and today I'm just going to use one of these little bars. And this will make 2, and I am not kidding, 2 5-gallon buckets of laundry soap. And this will last me a long, long time. And again, do not use a lot of laundry soap when you're making laundry. So I just want to show you, this is, I don't know, how big is this? For a regular laundry soap, we're supposed to use only half of the scoop when we're washing. Only half of the scoop. I know my kids tend to use more than they're supposed to, but only half of a scoop for regular load of laundry, okay? That's it. So, and again, it's not a bad idea to have a gallon or so of white vinegar near your laundry, so you can use that as a fabric softener. So let me show you what I'm gonna do. We have to grate this bar of soap, and you can use the old-fashioned cheese grater. Okay, that's good for your muscle development. Or I'm gonna hurry, so I'm gonna use my food processor. So I'm just gonna put it in a food processor and it will grate it for me. You know, it's funny, I see this little piece of soap that's left over, and it brought me memories. If you guys are using soap to wash your hands and there's a little bit of a sliver left behind, right? Normally people just throw them away, but not frugal people. Frugal people save them all together, they grind them up, and they make laundry soap or liquid hand soap. So never throw away those little slivers that you have left over. Always you can dilute them and make them into a hand liquid soap. So anyway, so I have myself a 5-gallon bucket, and I already have another 5-gallon bucket ready, but I'm not going to use it today. I'll explain to you in a minute. So what do I need to do? I'm going to put my shredded soap on the bottom, and I'm going to cover that with hot water, because hot water is going to help me to dilute everything. Okay, so I have about a gallon here of hot water. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this around to dilute everything. And it's going to take a little while to dilute. I can add a little bit more water if I want to. So let me go get some more. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more of hot water, trying to melt all of this soap. I'm just stirring this around. Okay, so things looks like they are nicely dissolved in the hot water. And now I'm going to be adding my other 2 ingredients. So the other 2 ingredients, I'm going to need a cup of washing soda and a cup of borax. That's it. So cup of borax, cup of laundry soda, and 1 bar of soap of your choice. And then hot water, and that's it. Okay, so a cup of washing soda is in, and I'm going to be putting a cup of borax. So we have a cup of borax as well. When you work with borax, it's best to work in a well-ventilated area because you don't want to inhale borax. So I'm trying to work with it quite carefully if possible. Okay, so now I'm going to mix it all together. Okay. It's already becoming thicker. And guess what? I'm gonna let it sit just like this. I'll put a cover on so nothing falls into it. And I'm gonna let it sit for 24 hours till tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I'll take another 5-gallon bucket. I will pour half of this content into that 5-gallon bucket. Okay? And I will top them both off with water, stir them up, and they will be good to use as homemade laundry detergent. It's getting thicker. My daughter just called it a lemon custard because it has that yellowish color from the soap and it's getting thicker. So I'm just gonna let this sit till tomorrow, and then tomorrow I will dilute this and I will have 2 full buckets of laundry detergent. Very frugal, and it will keep your clothes clean, and the ingredients are a little bit safer than what we don't even know in a laundry commercially prepared. So friends, I don't know where you stand on your finances. I don't know where you stand on your look on chemical use in your household, but for my family, I try to make them more frugal, more friendly, and so I hope you are encouraged and try something new.